Curry leaf has proven to be one of the easiest plants I've ever grown from seed. The white flowers form small green fruit that eventually ripen to a glossy black color. It is at this point that harvesting for seed germination is possible. To extract the seeds, you can easily score the edge of the skin with your fingernail, and then squeeze them out by pinching the opposing end. Each fruit contains a singular seed that is bright green in color and makes up most of the mass within the fruit. Unlike with some plants, curry leaf seeds are highly perishable. Once separated from the fruit, you will need to submerge them in water to prevent dehydration, waiting no more than 3 days between the time of harvest and sowing. Any standard potting mix works great for germination, as long as the wood chunks aren't too large. Fertilizer with an NPK value of 444 or lower will be very gentle on the seeds. I added just enough that there are still visible specks of fertilizer in the mix after stirring. Now you want to fill your pots. Any container 4 inches or larger is perfect, and you can sow as close as 1 inch apart without having any issues. In my case in particular, I planted 2 seeds per 4-inch pot. Acceptable sowing depth ranges from about a ½ inch to 1 full inch deep into the soil. After sowing, gently fold the dirt over the seeds and give them all a nice deep watering. Be sure to check on them regularly, ensuring that the soil remains moist but not wet to the touch. It typically takes about 3 weeks for the first sprouts to surface, and at first you may be disappointed thinking some of the seeds aren't going to grow, but the fact is that the speed at which these seeds germinate varies wildly. Though I had my first sprouts showing up in mid-July, it is now currently August 19th, and some are still just beginning to surface. What's interesting too is that the seeds are often polyembryonic, meaning it's possible to get 2 plants from a single seed. Though I only planted 30 seeds, I ended up having 46 plants in the end, which is really cool. Now, one of the challenges you might face with these seedlings is some cutworm damage. A few of mine were topped off by the worms while they were beginning to develop. To stop any further damage, I put a teaspoon each of spinosad and BT into a glass of water and drizzled it over the plants. Since doing so, no further damage has occurred, and even the most severely damaged seedling recovered fully. Now, the plants that provided these seedlings were also grown from seeds themselves back in the fall of 2022. And here, less than 2 years later, they all stand at around 5 feet tall and have already reached mature flowering age. I planted these original ones directly into the ground and surrounded them with wood chip mulch. This was done when they were only 6 inches tall, and they have all grown beautifully with very little maintenance. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you have any additional questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. But if you're interested in seeing more projects like this, as well as my countless other YouTube endeavors involving gardening, sound design, and drums, feel free to support my work via the Patreon link in the description. Thank you for watching, and happy growing!